Hello my beautiful friends, welcome. Anna, Alchemist of the Arts here, and it is time for another reading. I know I've been a bit absent of late. I have just got a lot going on. However, it is important that I show up for you as much as I can, and I felt very called to do this reading for you today. Now, I have 3 cards for 3 piles which I've chosen, and the theme of this reading, what I was really guided to read on, is your new beginnings and your new era. There have been a lot of celestial astrological changes over the course of this year. This year has been very, very intense for most of us. And I think this reading is that hopefully confirmation and maybe a glimmer of hope to show us what is actually changing in our lives for the positive. Those new beginnings that we've been intending for, working towards, actively enjoying. You know, where are they going? What are we doing? So that's what we're going to read on. And as always, 3 piles, and you can take as long as you need to make your choice, to make your selection, whether you choose intuitively, whether you choose through the crystals, whether you pick a number. We have pile number 1 today, which is this piece of amethyst. We have pile number 2, which is this piece of citrine. And we have pile number 3 today, which is this piece of obsidian. So if you feel like you need a little bit of time, do pause the reading, take as long as you need. Remember, this is a collective reading, so not all messages might feel like they're for you. Take what resonates and leave anything that doesn't. I am going to put the timestamps for each pile in the description box below. And if you would like a personal reading, they are available, but only on my Etsy at this moment in time. So I'm going to leave this here. Bear with me, and I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile number 1. If you were called to this pile, then this is your reading. You were called to this piece of amethyst today. I was drawn first to the fact that it almost looks like there is a heart in the top of this. But also, as I started getting things ready to read for your pile, my chest started feeling my throat started feeling really blocked. So I'm getting this feeling of maybe there's been some miscommunications in your life lately. We are a few weeks out of a Mercury retrograde. Maybe there is something that's been miscommunicated to you. Maybe there has been miscommunication between somebody that looked like a new opportunity, something happening, or maybe there's just been a period where things haven't been communicated yet. But we will do your oracle cards, and then we will go in and do some tarot cards and get your messages for you. So this is your new beginning, your new era. We have the deer and oat, healing. We have the 2 of fire in the reverse. And then we have awakening. Interesting. Yeah, I really feel like there have been some very big changes in your life, things that you want, you actively want to move in a new direction, but there could be a part of you that is feeling like you don't know which path to choose. There has been something, maybe there has been something that's been quite difficultly ended over the last 6 months to a year. Something that was unexpected, or you have just been through these big shifts, maybe due to some sort of awakening, realization, new information that's come forward into your life. And actually how it feels now is that you're not sure which path to take. There is this miscommunication might be actually misunderstanding, a personal, an inner misunderstanding, or a lack of clarity, something that you just haven't realized yet. And something that I really want to highlight within this card is that we have these 2 individuals here. Now, they're very obviously linked. They're very similar. They're both, when we look at it in the upright, you know, they're very tenderly got the hands over their hearts. There is this connection between them, and they are linked through the hair. I don't know whether you can see this. I don't know whether it'll focus. The hair is woven and braided together. They are linked. They are not separate. However, they are 2 individual things. And what I'm sensing is that there might be two paths, two options, two choices. Maybe it's moving in a new direction, picking a different path. And at this present moment in time, you don't see how they're linked. You don't see the similarities. And maybe there is being this element of talking yourself out of something that you haven't realized the connection between the two yet. And this connection could be something that you feel very deeply, something that matters a lot to you, but perhaps hasn't yet come to be seen at or known at an intellectual level, maybe. With the deer and the oat, with healing, I really feel like this is a time when you have had to be gentle. Deers are, I said tears. There could have been a lot of tears. There could have been a lot of tears and perhaps a lot of upset. Now, tears are, again, misunderstood, but tears look different. I don't know why I'm being asked to bring this up, but water is able to hold a frequency. It holds an energy and it responds to frequency, which is why they use cymatics, I believe it's called, which is where they get a visual of things within. I know they do that with sand mostly. I might be confusing very ungracefully two different concepts, but I know similarly water can hold a frequency and different tears hold a different frequency. If you look at them under a microscope, scientists have studied this. Now, I'm getting the sense here that actually your healing, whilst you might have thought of yourself as weak, maybe some people have told you that you were weak or that you were not dealing with things well, maybe that you've been told just to man up and just to get on with something. Actually, you've been going through a phase of healing. Maybe you've needed to release that energy through your tears. And the deer is a very, very gentle energy, very aware of its environment and very, very reactive. So I'm getting this sense here that perhaps you've been in a more gentle energy that has allowed you to reconnect with your emotions. And whilst you might be doubting yourself for that, actually it's allowing you to come to a different space, to have different realizations about yourself, which ultimately is going to allow you to move in some new directions. So the first message here is your new beginning might start on the back of this upset. It might start on the back of these changes. It might start in a way that doesn't feel like a new beginning at all. It could just feel like heartache. But what you're going through is a healing process that is inviting you to make some new decisions. And whilst you might not see at the moment how these new paths or a new path, and it could be for some that there is two paths to choose from and you don't see how they're going to link and cross over, and actually you might get to experience the two in a co-creative manner. This is saying that you might not see it yet, but it's there, they're linked, and in time you are going to see this clarity, and we will get some more cards to clarify, but I'm getting the strong sense that you're going to receive the clarity that you need through your emotional self, and that means reconnecting with your emotional self and allowing yourself to be emotional or reconnect with your true emotions without needing, like, feeling like you have to placate other people. Take care of their emotions first. Maybe you've been surrounded by people that struggle to handle it when you're emotional. If you were the person that's strong for everybody else all the time, perhaps this is a time when you've needed to reconnect with your emotions, and other people might not be able to handle that. Don't allow people to make you wrong for your emotions. You need to be able to feel them and express them. They also don't define you or your situations. Emotions, when stuck in the body, become quite damaging or harmful to us, so it is important that you allow them to be felt and to be released at the same time. So I feel very called to use this tarot deck today. This is the Spacious Tarot. It's not one that I use very often, but for me it's very, very linked to emotions, which is why I feel guided to use it. What else do we need to know for Pile 1's new beginnings, please? Their new era. Okay. I'm getting a few messages here. Yeah. Justice. The Four of Pentacles. The Six of Cups. The Six of Swords. And I would just like one more, please. The Magician. I like this. Bottom of the deck. the Six of Pentacles. You've got 3 sixes here. That's very, very interesting. I don't look at that numerologically with the connotations to Christianity. However, sixes are moments of change. And what I'm seeing here with these 3 sixes, there is a conscious choice here that you are being asked to make. And it might involve walking away from something that holds a lot of personal meaning for you, because we have the 6 of Cups here, but also that might mean walking towards something that really you felt drawn to in your past. And it might be a past experience, a past passion, a past love, something that really meant a lot to you. It feels like this decision might be walking away from one thing to walk towards another, and actually full cycle. I think this walking away from something is actually leading you back to complete a cycle, to complete a circle. We have the infinity symbol here of the Magician, and the third 6 is the 6 of Pentacles, which connects to balance, to charitableness, to putting things into I feel like something's going to be returned to you and something being fair. But the 6s in the tarot are the turning point. It's the point at which you've overcome some of the key obstacles, even if you feel like you might not see it at this moment in time, in order to walk towards this new beginning. And with this 6 of Pentacles being on the bottom of the deck, you might not yet be in this place. You might not be feeling it and seeing it, which could be leading to this sense of doubt. But I am getting a sense of faith as you walk forwards. But we've also got the 2 of Wands coming up again. We have the 2 of Fire in the reverse here. And it feels like there needs to be a balance here of, in some ways, maybe walking in faith without having seen the full path mapped out for you. Again, take that as for your situation. It will be different for all of you. There might be some situations where that advice is really not advisable. This is just a reading. But it feels like you've come full cycle with something and you've walked down a path a very long way. This could be, for some, I'm going like a 15, 18 year cycle. And then you've reached a point of going, no, do you know what? It's time for a new direction. There is a part of you that could be holding on to the way old things have been, to the way the old things you wanted them to be in some respects. And this could be one of those processes that you were going through and healing at this time. That healing is going to allow you to fully move on. And that is going to be really, really powerful for you. But it's also going to help you to remember your own power with the Magician here. The journey that you've been on hasn't been for no reason. You could have dealt with injustice, unfairness, or maybe just not receiving what you felt like should have come to you. And maybe the not receiving of the things that you felt should have come during this last chapter of your life was part of the shift that was required to get you to take a new opportunity, to move in a new direction and make those new decisions. If you'd have received all of it and not had some of these experiences, as hard as they might have been for you and the lessons that you've learned, you might not have gained these skills of the Magician here. And it feels like these skills are the things that are going to take you into this new era. You're a lot more capable than you perhaps give yourself credit for. And I think it's only by being in some of these new situations are you going to have that awareness become part of your lived experience, where you realize those skills, you get to put them into action and experience them firsthand. So you are closing what might have been a difficult cycle, or just healing a cycle. For some of you, there could be a lot of grief that's coming up. Allow your emotions to process, because there is something new that is opening. There are new doors opening. And whilst they might look separate, actually they're very closely linked. I don't think you can go too wrong with some of these choices if you're worried that picking one is going to close another door off entirely. I think this is confirmation that actually they're more linked than they look. And as you walk away from some things, you're going to be walking back. You might not realize it, but it's almost like walking in a circle, walking back to some things that really meant a lot to you in earlier stages of your life, potentially your childhood. And now that you're in a different place in your life, you can approach them with far more skills and actually receive the things that you were hoping for and feel like you deserve from this situation and that you're worthy of now. I think worthiness, being told that you are worthy of them, pile number one, is a really important thing to say to you, that you are worthy of these things. So please don't doubt yourself. I feel like getting a few oracle cards. I'm being drawn to these, to these, and to these. I'm going to get one of each. First of all, let's get one of these for you. This is the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. Sacred journey and pilgrimage. And I think this is a really strong message here, that your journey, your message, your experiences are very unique to you. And if you're looking at the outside world for the way other people have done things, or for their validation, if it's somebody to turn around and give you permission to follow a dream, for example, or for them to say, no, I did that and it worked this way, it's going to be okay for you. That kind of validation you might not receive from this situation. And as hard as that might be, you're being asked to walk your own path and know that your journey is so unique to you. That doesn't make it wrong. It just means that you're going to do this your way. And it's also very sacred to you. You know, this is about your experiences, everything that you've got to bring forwards at this time. And because it's Sarah in Avalon, this connects to Avalon, the Vale of Avalon, Glastonbury. Maybe the Arthurian legends are important to you, or maybe there is wisdom within them that you'd like to reconnect with. I'm getting the story of the Green Knight, but also Glastonbury, Avebury, those sorts of sacred sites in the south of England, if that's relevant for you. If you're not local to the UK, then maybe there is some magic and some stories connected to there, or you can connect to that grid energetically, remotely. Let's get one of these for you. You've got light. And I think this is beautiful. I think this is leaning towards that inner light, those inner messages, that inner guidance, trusting that it is coming up for a reason. I've just looked up at another poster on my wall and I've just seen the word willpower, which is not one that I remember reading of there before. Light and willpower, this to me comes back to faith, to really leaning into trusting, believing some of those intuitive messages that you've been getting, trusting that you are not wrong or crazy for having a dream, for wanting to have a new beginning or move in a new direction, trusting that there is something new waiting to unfold. And sometimes it's in those heaviest, darkest moments that we realize the true extent of what is a light in our own lives guiding us, the things that steer us back to the path that feels right, the guidance, wisdom, intuition that feels right for us. So trust in the signs, symbols and synchronicities around you that feel like they are guiding you back home, that feel like they're guiding you in a positive and powerful direction, that feel like they're showing up for you and they feel right within your body. If something feels wrong, if something makes you feel really anxious, even though some powerful positive changes can make us feel anxious because of the process of change, sometimes our intuition is saying to us, no, that really isn't right for us. That spoke for itself. Let's get these two then. You've got two. You've got spontaneous and you've got clarity. And I feel like this is beautiful energy. Two full moons here. They're holding this moon. You might have been waiting for a sign, a message, clarity to move in a particular direction, hence the indecision about what path to take. We are, at the time of this reading, we've just had a new moon. We're leading to a full moon in the middle of May, or the beginning, middle of May. Now, whilst this is a timeless reading, the next full moon cycle, leading up to it, wherever you are in the lunar cycle when you watch this reading, ask for a moment of clarity. That clarity might come out of the blue. It might be spontaneous. Or if you've been waiting a long time and feeling stuck, you might have a moment of clarity that leads you to being able to make what might look like a very quick and spontaneous decision. But actually, you've done so much of the groundwork and so much thinking that when you finally get to that clarity, when that finally drops and it comes into your body and it feels right, you're going to know. and you're going to be able to move in that direction. So a lot of interesting messages for you. I'm going to get one more. I feel really guided to get one more just to clarify with some more lunar energy. You got two more again. A new start is coming. Nothing will come of this situation. Interesting. Completely oppositional energies. With these two paths, if you're feeling like the decision is between staying and going, you are being told that there is a new beginning, a new start. We are literally in this lunar phase right now. Your new beginning, your new era might well begin with the closing of an old era, an old chapter, making a conscious decision that actually you aren't going to repeat the same cycle, even if you're invited, because something new is calling to you. That might require you having faith, and maybe you're really asking for clarity. This clarity is going to come, and maybe this spontaneous card is asking you to do something just a little bit differently. It doesn't have to be wild. Each day, our change is built upon the back of all of the small decisions we make in any given moment, in any given day. It doesn't have to start on a Monday. It doesn't have to be a total overhaul. It can be one decision, one choice, one change in conversation or change in thought. And that is how true change is built, because it happens over a much longer period of time. Part number one, I think this message is complete for you. I hope it assisted you. Just a reminder that I do offer personal readings if you feel guided. They're available at the link below. But I'm sending you all my love. Thank you for being here, spending this time with me. I'm wishing you all the best for this new chapter of your life and sending you all my love. And I will see you again really, really soon. Take care. Hi there, pile number two. If you were drawn to the citrine today, then this is your reading. Citrine is a beautiful crystal. It is connect with, a lot of people use it for manifesting abundance. It can be connected to our finances, but also being open to receiving an abundant flow of the things that we desire. It makes you more magnetic. So I feel like this could be important for your reading, and also getting this sense that things could have been feeling very stuck for you for a while, and there was something clearing, but it feels like you've been getting some resistance. So we're going to go with your oracle cards. Of course, this is going to be about your new beginnings and your new era. So let's get into it. Cat and Lavender, Independence. I love that. We've got the Seneschal in the reverse, and then we've got Exploration. Interesting. So I'm really getting that there is a level of you embracing new confidence and new self-trust. Now, the Seneschal in this deck is explained as a card. I'll put it in the upright for now. Is explained as being the keeper of the keys, the person that would have been responsible for balancing the books, making sure that there was a clear account and record of everything, to make sure things that were carefully recorded, to make sure the money was accounted for. And that would have been a position that would involve a lot of trust and a lot of faith in the person that had appointed the person in that position. Now, with Independent and Exploration, this feels, with this card coming out in the reverse, perhaps you have been in a position where you haven't trusted yourself. Maybe you've doubted yourself. Maybe you have not given yourself in the past the permission to do certain things because you didn't think you had the authority, you didn't think you had the skill, or maybe you just doubted your ability to make wise decisions. I feel like this new chapter, especially with the Lavender, you are being given some insight into your true power, especially with the Black Cat. The Lavender is asking you to be calm. Is asking you to call back your energy from beliefs, situations, old situations where you might have given your power away. And this isn't a roast by any stretch of the imagination. This is your new beginning, your new era is where you step into your power. And within this, you're going to trust yourself to make decisions for yourself and be able to have some new beginnings, new explorations, things that are just for you. This is about you having faith and believing in yourself, where you might have doubted yourself in the past. And I feel like this is going to be really empowering for you. Interestingly, I'm being called to draw another card from the Dreams of Gaia. Yes, in the past, you could have had an experience where, yes, we've got the Five of Water on the bottom of the deck. The Two of Water on is the card that came out in the reverse. Now again, this would be most similar to the Two of Cups in the traditional tarot, in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. The fact it's coming out in the reverse, you could have found yourself in a close personal relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic, although I'm strongly being guided that it might be. Something that meant a lot to you, somebody that meant a lot to you. This could have been a parent as well that maybe stripped away some of your power, your self-belief, left you feeling maybe like you doubted yourself, maybe just a bit restless. I'm getting breathless, which is an interesting one. And maybe that breathlessness is exasperation. You could have felt like you didn't have the power to do certain things, didn't trust yourself, believe in yourself to do certain things. That era is closing out. You are healing from some of those old wounds. They could still be quite painful for you in times. It could just be stuck in your emotional body. And when I said at the beginning, I was getting this sense of something clearing. You can do energy clearing. You can do clearing of your energy body, your emotional body, to help you process and release these past emotions and experiences. Now, that does involve a healing process. This works on many, many levels, and it might not happen as a one-time thing, you know, but there are meditations out there online that are free, sound frequencies that you can use to help with clearing, or you can choose to work with a practitioner that specializes in energy healing in a multitude of different ways, whether that's from Reiki to sound healing, literally anything you can think of. Always work with somebody you trust and check out the credentials and their trusted reviews, things like that. But I feel like you could work with somebody now to start clearing this energy, to clear it out of your field as you really step out more independently to make some of these new choices for yourself and to work in a more independent way. More faith, more self-belief, more self-trust, and letting go of some of these past experiences where you would have come to doubt yourself potentially. I'm trying to see where I'm being drawn here, but we're being drawn to the Oak, Ash and Thorn Tarot. I absolutely love this deck. It is from Three Trees Tarot. And this is from a new deck as well. This is from the Woodland Wanderers, Woodland Wardens, sorry. The Woodland Wardens, which they're so beautiful, they're so unique. And as an artist, I'm just so drawn to the beautiful illustrations. So we've got the Four of Wands, the Ten of Wands. Again, being drawn to that this could have been a past... a past romantic experience, romantic relationship, marriage potentially, that could have kept you feeling quite stuck, a little bit held back, or like you didn't have the power to make certain decisions in your own life, or maybe you just felt you could have been in an environment, if it's not romantic, or even if it was romantic, you could have been in an environment, a culture, a religion, a circle of friends where there was a certain level of belief, certain things that you had to do that very strongly influenced your own emotional experience here, because we have the Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Now, she governs the emotions, but she's also very, very empathic and in tune with the emotions of those around you. Now, regardless of whether or not there were perhaps limiting or negative beliefs within that culture, that religion, that family, that relationship, you might have felt them. You might have felt other people's energy. You might have just grown up within an environment and adopted to them and then taken them on as your own. And your new era, this new beginning, this new part of new phase of your life is where you will begin to really emotionally break free and develop your own independent life where you get to live on your own terms. This feels really powerful. It feels very empowering and very, very beautiful for you. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Wands, which I feel like is It almost feels like you've got a bit of a process here. You're in this process. You've been going through this process. This is your reminder that there are brand new await. There is brand new things that are waiting for you. This new beginning is an energetic shift that leads to whole other new beginnings. Your new beginning, your new era isn't just one thing. It is an emotional, excuse me, my throat has just gone completely. An emotional, mental, mindset, energetic shift that is going to open so many new doors for you. There is a whole load of old stuff clearing out. Things that you could have been carrying for a very, very long time, and you were developing and building this trust for yourself. This is going to manifest abundant new opportunities. It's going to start attracting to you what you really want. And the fact that I was drawn to the citrine crystal, I thought this pile could be to do with money. That's really simplistic when you look at the energy of specific stones and things like that. This is about you realizing that as your energy shifts, you are going to magnetize and attract very different experiences into your life that are far more aligned with what you really want. Hence the exploration card. Because you're in a completely different headspace, because you're in a completely different mindset. You're being asked here to rest. If difficult situations come up, if things come up from the past that might feel painful, hurtful, past memories, or perhaps just for some, if this is the end of a relationship or marriage, or you've decided to step away from a group of friends, a culture, religion, situation, whatever it is, there could be things that come up. There could still be things you're holding on to. And in time, you are going to heal and release those. And that's okay. There is also a whole load of wisdom and magic that is going to lead to your abundance, your fulfillment. And when I say abundance, I don't just mean money. Your ability to attract to you the experiences that you want to experience that aren't disappointing, that aren't hurtful. They're going to come for you. You're going to be open to them. It's going to be different this time because this is a complete and utter energy shift. If you need to rest, then rest. Take the time you need. These energy shifts, some of them can happen like bolts out of the blue. They can come very, very quickly, and they can be really, really sudden, like lightning bolt moments that shift the course of our lives. Others of them, that can be, those lightning bolt moments can be catalysts. And after that moment, it is like this dawning awakening, like the sun rising, and it's steady and it takes time. And as that sun rises, more and more light is shed onto what was once held in darkness. And we see it with beautiful new perspective. So don't feel frustrated if this doesn't happen all at once, or perhaps it happens in cycles, or perhaps you feel like you're going round and round. You are on the right path. You are going through this process that's leading to more empowerment. You are going to explore new things. Some of those things might not be for you. Some things might come up which might trigger past experiences, and you go, you know what? I need to work on this before I proceed, or I need to give myself some time and attention, or I need to back off from the situation, or actually this might be what everyone else is doing and they might all love it, but I don't like this. I'm not going to do this because it's not for me. That's about honoring your energy, your experiences, your needs, wants and desires. And that is a part of this emotional, energetic independence that you are going to be embracing now in this phase of your life. I've been told to get a unicorn. They want me to get a cosmic unicorn card. Now these are the cheeky cards, and they come out when we need to sort of, you need a bit of a cosmic kick up the butt, basically. And I'm not saying that you need that. I feel like you're a very gentle energy. You could have a lot of Piscean energy in your chart, or a lot of water signs, a lot of Cancer energy. But this is, sometimes we need a bit of tough love, and this deck normally does that. We've got the King of Swords in the reverse. This could have been somebody in your life that was very, very overbearing, that was quite dominating, that had very, very specific beliefs. Doesn't have to be a male or a female energy. Can be completely any gender, any persuasion, any identification. But this energy right here tells me that there was somebody that was quite overbearing, that had very specific thoughts and beliefs and could have imposed them upon you. King of Swords is all about mental energy. The king would normally be mental, emotional clarity that you had, and they would normally be the master of that mental sphere. What I'm getting here is this could have been used, somebody else could have used that to impose their thoughts and beliefs upon you. And again, at a wider level, this could be something like the media, having particular beliefs that have been perpetrated through the media that have made you think you need to look a certain way, act a certain way, live a certain life. This is about you breaking free, reclaiming your energy, reclaiming your sovereignty. That is the word. Your independence in all levels and finding a new way forwards. I'm going to take both of them because they both wanted to come out. We've got White Buffalo, Calf Woman, Reverence, and Creative Spark with Brigid. Now, I really think these two things are awakening together. They're telling me that they're awakening this spark of reverence within you, reverence for who you are, for your own meaning, for your own value. This creative spark could literally be a creative spark, but it could also be that catalyst that awakens within you. Trust those creative nudges. If something's lighting you up, if you feel passionate about something, excited about something, remember that those feelings, sensations, those energies are often the things that guide us. They're the things that wake us up and go, have you tried this? And sometimes it's a subtle nudge. Sometimes it's a full-blown shove and you're like, whoa, all right, okay, got the message, we'll try it. There is something that is sparking your interest, intrigue, or creativity. And again, just remember your own inner sacredness. Your life, your energy, and who you're giving it to is sacred. So treat it as such. Do not just give it away to anybody, especially past people that could have misused it. Evolve and prosperity. This is exactly what I'm feeling and sensing for you. Your abundance, your ability to prosper, to thrive, to grow and move in new directions. This all comes as you evolve. This is a new beginning that becomes part of your evolution. And this black cat here, I love this. And there's two cards here. It's like you're looking out now on your new beginnings. Whereas before, I feel like you would have been so focused on keeping everybody else happy, making sure they had what they needed, that you actually would have forgone your own needs, wants and desires. And this is saying that that phase of your life is done. This is you stepping up for you, choosing you, claiming you. You are evolving, and it's going to lead you to prosper in all the ways that you'd once dreamed and hoped of. Now, this is very specific. We've got a lot of energy connected to Samhain, Halloween, Mabon. So I'm really getting with this one that over the next 6 months, you are going to see these massive shifts and changes. I think in 6 months' time, you commit to yourself, you commit to your practices and trust this process, truly work with it and choose yourself in the nicest possible way. You are going to see the benefit. You are going to see put it, if you're watching this, whenever you're watching this, put a note in your diary, even though this is a timeless reading, put a note in your diary in 6 months' time to go back and do like a personal review. Just check in with yourself, because I think if you wrote a letter to yourself today at the time of this reading and then went back in 6 months' time and read it, I think you're going to be amazed at the changes that you've been able to create, and just really happy in the ways in which you've shown up for yourself. And you should be proud of yourself for how far you've come. But I have this feeling that you're going to be really proud and very happy that you made this decision to choose you. And you've got knowledge and warmth. I feel like you're going to learn a lot. This new era, this new phase, you're going to learn a lot. And you are going to lean towards the things that feel warm to you, that feel welcoming to you, that light you up, that inspire you, that inspire your creativity. Not all of those things will be for you. Sometimes we try new things and they're really not for us. But leading towards that warmth and in particular in the sacral chakra, if you're feeling inspired to something, passionate about something, just desiring something even, there is a way of working towards it, leaning towards that, working with it and seeing what message, what wisdom, what knowledge it's got for you. Knowledge can come from books. Knowledge is something that we learn. When we turn that into wisdom is how we integrate it into our own lives, into our own experience, and then allow it to help us make different decisions in the future. That is a process. Your new beginning is your self-evolution. And even if you've done this journey for a very long time, your entire life, and you've changed so many times, and you might be screaming and just saying, look, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Why more? Trust yourself. Trust this, because there is something so much better, or something so much deeper, more aligned. And remember, as you clear out these past experiences, especially if your good nature has been abused, or you've been around people that have tried to make you think, feel a certain way, as you clear that energy, you are going to attract to you and magnetize to you more authentically from your own energy, the new things that you desire, because this old energy isn't hanging around in your field and isn't then being the thing that you're putting out there, because we do this in a subconscious way. So, and just believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, love yourself, lean into yourself, trust yourself. I'm going to leave it here, pile number 2. I think that's all the messages I have for you today. As a reminder, personal readings are available. They're available on the link in the Dropbox below on my Etsy. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. But I'm sending you all my love, and I will look forward to seeing you again in another reading. Take care, and I'll see you again really, really soon. Hi there, pile number 3. If you were drawn to this pile and the obsidian today, then this is your reading. Now, interestingly, whilst obsidian is often used for sort of deflecting negative energy, it is also a mirror into some of the aspects of self that we might find it difficult to confront sometimes. I believe in ancient times it was used as a form of mirror. And, even the process of me dropping it, sometimes those realizations are things that we don't want to face, that we don't want to accept. However, they are some of the most valuable wisdom that we could ever gain. And your new beginning feels like it's going to be this process of really understanding yourself in a different way. And it's a way that's only going to help you moving forwards. So let's get into it. Let's turn your cards over. The Hound and Pair, loyalty. Oh, I love it. We've got the 8 of Water and manifestation. I love this already. I feel like you're going to be really aligning. My pile number 3 is normally a very quite deeply spiritual, let's put it that way. I'm really getting that you are going to be in a phase of your life now where you are attracting to you soul tribe, soul family. You could be looking at your own origins. Maybe for some of you, you might be, because I'm looking at this 8 of Water here, maybe you are really understanding your energy type in a different way, your own spiritual gifts, and understanding how that can manifest in different ways. Now, there is a sense here of spirit family. This could be, for some of you, if you are have a belief or interest in such things, this could be investigating starseeds. It could be investigating soul origins, past lives. I feel like these sorts of things are going to be coming up to the surface, communicating with higher intelligence and understanding yourself at a whole new level. Now, what does this mean? It can mean being aware sometimes of some of the old ways that we might have acted. Do you know what? This is part of our growth. This is part of our journey. There comes a time where we have to forgive all the versions of ourselves that we have been. You are here. You are committed to your own growth and learning. That deserves your respect and your faith and your forgiveness if needed, but your compassion most of all. This loyalty, I feel like, is either loyalty to self or loyalty to a higher energy that It might be, actually, what I'm getting, it might be loyalty to a dream, because I was looking at the manifestation card and how they work together. This could be loyalty to a vision, a dream of self, a deep understanding, an inexplicable feeling that you were destined for something more, or there is something about you that might feel different, that you have felt since you were very, very young. I feel like you're going to start getting some answers to some of those feelings and some understanding. And, you know, with this manifestation card, if you've been seeking to manifest soul tribe, soul family, a soul mate perhaps, I feel like this is waiting in the wings for you. Your energetic shift is going to bring you into alignment with it, and also everything else that comes with it. This isn't just about the things that you want. This energy shift is going to open up entire new realms of potential for you, that is going to walk through doors that you didn't even know could open. It's going to be magic. It's going to be beautiful. It is also going to require the ability to openly work on what doesn't align with this vision of your life anymore. That can be difficult. I get that. But I feel like you're ready for it. And I feel like you have the strength to do this. And if you're still listening after, you know, I started mentioning the mirror and confronting ourselves, then you do. Absolutely. Not everybody would have heard that and been able to stand there and listen to it. So if you're still here, you're still listening, you do have the strength to do this work. You do have the skill. You are here for a reason. You're not mad for feeling like there was something within you that's only just coming to the surface, that's only just rising. You know, as a collective, we are expanding and being able to express ourselves, access our soul gifts, and feeling and sensing those things coming to the surface as we go through this evolution of humanity. Things will come up now that never came up before. Things will become validated or given credibility now that never had it before. And you were going to feel that at a soul level. You were going to know it in your bones, in the very structure of your DNA. You're going to feel it. And I feel like it's going to shift the entire way that you radiate and carry yourself, and in turn, how everything else gravitates around you. Pile number 3. This is powerful, powerful, powerful work. They're just saying to me, like, don't give up as well. Because if you're going through this, you could have also been wading through the collective sludge and darkness that has been this process of change, which has just felt so heavy. You're just being reminded that that isn't the end of everything. This is a brand new awakening, a new beginning, a deeper cycle. 5 of Swords. Yeah. Walking away from anything that feels... Hang on, let me get some more cards. Walking away from anything that feels like it's giving you the ick. Anything that doesn't feel authentic. You know, the 5 of Swords is, on many levels, it can speak of deception. It can speak of ill-gotten gains. It can speak of being able to get things off other people in a way that maybe is a bit underhand or dishonest. But also, I'm getting with this, that energy of perhaps doing anything in a way that gives you a result that, yeah, you might get the result. If it doesn't feel authentic, if it doesn't light you up, even if it gets you ultimately from point A to point B, which may be the desire, if it makes you feel wrong, dishonest, underhand in the process, you're not going to want that anymore. And anything, the problem is, as we go through these evolution cycles, the more we do this work, the more sensitive we become to even the slightest thing that doesn't feel aligned in our being. And there is a very, very strong message here that those, as the waves of intensity amplify, you are going to feel what feels right at a greater intensity and what feels wrong at a greater intensity. So trust your emotional experience, trust what you're feeling in your body, because if it does not feel right, if it doesn't feel authentic, if it doesn't light you up, if it doesn't feel aligned, don't force it. Okay, we've got 2 and they've spun out like that. We've got the Page of Cups in the reverse and Temperance. Maybe you were waiting for somebody to come forward and give you a message that was going to allow you to heal. Now, some of you might not like this message, but I can't not deliver it. This is about finding that inner authority and the inner permission to do some of this healing work, to perhaps learn a new healing modality that you can use on yourself and then later work with to help others with. I don't feel like you're going to receive that permission from an external source. This is about you finding your inner sovereignty and authority and really leaning into your intuition in order to make those decisions. Also, there could have been things that you thought were going to be given to you in a certain way. This could link to the manifestation. Perhaps you thought that you were going to be given, you've been trying to manifest something. And I don't feel like it was that you, how do I explain this? This is such a deep message. And I don't want to trigger anybody. You could have been trying to manifest things or manifest things in a certain way. This is just a reminder that your inner energy, whether or not you feel worthy of it, and we can tell ourselves we're worthy, but truly, if there's still something like the gunk in there that sort of says, actually, no, you're not. Those limiting beliefs that say, no, you can't have this. You're not this. You don't get to have that. You don't deserve that. That can hold us back. This is really, really deep work. It won't be for everybody. But also, sometimes it's telling ourselves that we're not healed enough, meaning that we shut doors to things. Because again, that's a limiting belief that we hold on to. So there is this message here that I don't feel like you have to go and force yourself to heal anything in any particular way, especially not to get something. You are going to notice that things appear in your life as you do this work. And it's not that you have to keep working, grinding in order to be worthy of them. Naturally, you're just going to attract differently and different things, different places, different experiences, because you're going to be able to receive them differently. You're going to work at a whole different frequency to the things that held you back before, and they're not going to hold you back anymore. I've got to do this. I've just been really drawn to this card, and I've just noticed something I've never noticed before, and that's just the difference. Maybe this person's like a kind of sea creature, maybe they're wearing trousers. There is a difference in color here between the sacral and the root chakras. There could be emotions and energy within the root chakra, because water, this is water energy. Water is connected to our emotions, our memories. There could be emotions and memories within the root chakra that are holding you back from some of these manifestations, some of the things that you're ready to experience in your life. So that could be a key to working through something. And it could just be one small thing, a memory related to a specific thing, something somebody said to you. Okay, interesting that they've all come out upside down. We've got the Nine of Wands, we've got the Moon, and we've got the Tower, all in the reverse. It's interesting because I don't shuffle this deck in the reverse. This deck is all in the upright. So when they come out in the reverse, it's one of my favourite decks. It's one of my originals, and there are some cards in the reverse. But when the cards come out in the reverse, for me, it's often a message. Now, these are good cards to have in reverse. You don't have to go through, you don't have to keep your boundaries up anymore. Your new beginning is what felt like it was holding you back before is not going to be a huge problem anymore. You're going into a new phase. You are going to have to make some decisions to work through things still, to still approach some situations in the same way as you have been, dutifully showing up for yourself and doing this work. But what I'm feeling is that you've come to a place now where you can listen to your inner being, read the energy, read the signs enough. There doesn't have to be any more chaotic explosions of truth coming from the unseen, wrecking everything, ripping the tower down, bringing everything back to its foundations. You don't have to hold your boundaries up anymore in the way that you once did. And actually, those boundaries, those walls that we build up are very much root chakra energy. Now, there's a difference. I kept saying boundaries, but there's a difference between boundaries and walls. Boundaries are kind of rules that we have for ourselves that give us a clear parameter of what is okay and what is not, what is for us and what is not, what we will accept and what we won't. That is a boundary. A wall is when we don't have boundaries and we have to put up a wall that blocks everything out to protect ourselves. Now, you could have been building up walls to protect yourself from total destruction. It might have felt like maybe that was a fear of yours, again tying to the root chakra. Maybe it was just that you couldn't trust the good coming in because you associate it with all being taken away. You're shifting into a new phase where this is not going to happen anymore, or at least you don't have to build those walls in the same way to deal with these situations. I feel like you've got the power, the knowledge, the understanding to deal with it differently. Mastery of your own emotions. You're not going to be ruled and governed and doubt yourself in the same ways anymore. You do have the power to overcome. You do have the power to be aware of your emotions. Yeah, Ten of Swords. You're not going to be stabbed in the back anymore. You're not going to not see things coming. Trust yourself. Trust the work that you've done. Trust your own ability to discern. Trust your own ability to choose situations, people, places, things that are right for you. And I'm going to say this now because this has happened in my personal experience. The harder you work to create boundaries and not walls, sometimes I don't want to think that the universe tests us, but sometimes we are put in a position where we have very similar experiences to those of our past, or we think we found something different, whether that's a person, a job, an opportunity, whatever it is. We then use those boundaries and our boundaries are tested and we're given the opportunity. It's a conscious choice that we make whether we uphold that boundary or whether we allow that boundary to be crossed. And so sometimes these things that come into our lives are those moments where we're given the opportunity to reassert a boundary without building a wall. Don't think it's because you're doing something wrong. This is you testing your mettle. It's you testing your armor. We have armor, we have boundaries, not because we're never going to deal with another battle again, and not because we want to hold ourselves off and protect ourselves against everything, but it teaches us how to discern what is a threat and what might not be right for us, even just at an enjoyment level. You know, it doesn't have to be a big scary thing. It teaches us how to differentiate between the two in order to allow in only what deserves to be a part of our life, or to enjoy our energy for all the work that we have done. That probably sounds really arrogant, and I don't mean it that way, but that is a reason we have energetic boundaries. So I feel like this could mean some people are losing access to you now. And, you know, that could be another message. You're not going to allow just any Tom, Dick and Harry into your life, regardless of gender. Apologies, that's just a phrase. You're not just going to allow anyone into your life, into your energy, that is going to drain and deplete it. I feel like you're going to be very, very aware of that. And that is going to become more and more obvious to you, because you're going to feel the benefit of what is aligned and what does feel good. And you're going to gravitate towards that and away from this. So let's get you some oracle cards. Your new chapter is you really stepping into your energy and your power. Yes, soulful and prosperity. Interesting, prosperity came out for pile number 2. You might feel there is a slight energetic crossover between the two. You might feel drawn to watch pile number 2 as well, because there might be messages within there that are relevant and helpful to you. So definitely, if you feel like you were choosing between the two, I would advise going back watching pile 2. Prosperity and soulful. Soulful prosperity is different maybe to material prosperity. This is about you feeling really good in your own skin. This is learning that you will attract new experiences, abundance, prosperity, financial abundance, emotional abundance, you know, relationships, partnerships, beings, people. You will attract all of those differently at a soul level, having put boundaries in place, but also doing the depth of this work, really being able to confront perhaps where we haven't put in boundaries in the past. I know I've had to do this. It's not easy, you know. It doesn't necessarily go down easy, but it is real. And what comes on the other side of it that commitment, that loyalty to yourself, to your dream, to your vision, to that belief that you deserve better, you know, that's worth it. So this is about you reconnecting or connecting with a deeper part of yourself that is very soulful, that does deserve the best, that does deserve magic, and not allowing things to take that from you. In your new era, you might find that there are a few bumps, but those are those opportunities where you are standing up for yourself. Dawn. And I love this because there was a beautiful analogy about the dawn in pile number 2 that I made. And I would really recommend, if you go back and watch that if you have the time. The dawning of a new era. And the dragonfly is a symbol of transformation. If you don't know, dragonflies in their larvae state are underwater in sludgy, muddy grime for years. And then all of a sudden, out of... I don't quite know the full process, but they can wait there for years, and then all of a sudden they get this nudge that it's time for them to emerge. And as they do, they emerge as these beautiful, resplendent butterflies. So this is a symbol of transformation, because we can be wading through darkness, through disappointment, through pain, through suffering, through a healing cycle that feels like it will never end, through lessons that feel like they'll never end. All of a sudden, you will receive a sense of emergence through this dawn. And it's like new light, new awareness, a new breath of energy that we're able to breathe. And you emerge as a butterfly, and you take new wings, dragonfly, and you take new wings. Now, spiritually, those cycles can repeat. So if you've been going through multiple cycles where you've been, might have felt down, you felt just like you're in the depth of doing really deep work, this is a reminder that a dawn will come. It reminds me of the Dagaz rune. You know, a dawn will come. The cycle completes. It goes around. It's not always going to be down. The sun will rise, and you will find yourself in a new phase of that cycle. Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. I was getting the water energy really strongly. This did come up in pile number 2 as well. And pile number 1, actually, it was that was more Piscean, Cancerian energy. But look at the similarity between these two. Connect with your emotional body. Heal your emotional body. And just connect. If you're a very, very sensitive, emotionally sensitive human being, we don't have to close ourselves off with walls. This is the relevance of this. If we close off our emotions, if we shut down our hearts, we're then limiting ourselves at what feels like a breath level of our soul expression. And this is one of the hardest parts of healing and self-actualization, is when you truly choose and understand and recognize that your emotions, your sensitivity, and all of your gifts, as vulnerable as they might make you feel for the people that have misused them or abused them or hurt you, they're also your superpowers. And these boundaries, instead of walls, will allow you to filter out and protect yourself, but still be the highest expression of yourself and express those gifts out into the world in a way that allows energy to flow back to you, allowing for manifestation in a really beautiful, positive, and powerful way. And that is the key, that is one of the hardest parts of this whole process, in my opinion, is learning not to shut yourself down and to express yourself, even though I can't take all of those. Hold your vision. I'll get one more. Okay, I've got 2 more. A fiery climax approaches. A win-win outcome is forecast. Yeah, in your new beginning, this is your deep spiritual work. This is a deep phase of your self-actualization. And these boundaries are going to help you. Some things are going to come to a close. Hope and intend for a win-win. If you don't wish for, I think most people, if you were in this energy, you don't wish any harm on anyone else. But a win-win in whatever way that is needed. A balancing of the scales with this Libra energy. But don't lose sight of who you are. This loyalty feels like it's a loyalty to your true self. a loyalty to the boundaries that you've made, the lessons that you've learned. You're not going to need to repeat those cycles. This is about you being loyal to you and having new experiences based on everything that you've learned and that you've been through. Trust yourself, believe in yourself. You do not have to go through those past cycles again, and you don't need to close yourself off in order to be safe. This is a time where you actually get to expand, to feel those emotions again, to express them, and to just experience life in its beauty and all its colour. And I feel like it's going to be a wonderful new era for you, pile number 3. And I hope this reading has assisted you in your journey. I have readings, personal readings available over on my Etsy if you were interested. But thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your time with me, for sharing your energy with me. Just sending you all my love. And I will speak to you again in another reading. Take care. Bye-bye.